Hey, what's up everybody? Anton here from dropshiplifestyle.com. And did you know that 90% of businesses fail within 120 days? It sounds crazy, right? Like 9 out of 10 businesses fail within 4 months. Yeah, I didn't know that either until my team and I started to do some research for this video. But I have something pretty important that you should know about that statistic. So make sure you watch this full episode of Dropship Weekly. So the reason we even started to look for this number online is because we get a ton of emails to Dropship Lifestyle, and they're from people that are thinking of enrolling in my coaching program, and they're scared. They say things like, I know that my odds of succeeding are so low, I know that 9 out of 10 businesses fail. And to me, I always thought like, I don't think that's true, but even if it was, who cares, right? And let me just explain. I have a quarter here, so normal quarter, right? And if I flip this quarter, I can say that there's a 50% chance that it'll be heads. So if I'm betting that it's gonna be on heads, then my chances of winning are 50%, right? So write in the comments, what do you think it's gonna be? I'll flip it. I'm gonna say heads, that's what I'm betting on. So let's see. Heads, I won, okay? I won 50%, that was my chance, that was my probability. And that is a truth, right? If I flip this over time, 50% of the time, I'd be right if I chose heads. Not according to game theory though, I think it's 51%, but either way, close enough. Now that is a truth, okay? That's not gonna change over the long run. If the stat was true that 90% of businesses fail, is that the same? Does that mean that you have a 1 out of 10 chance of succeeding in the long run? No, absolutely not, okay? One is based on a fact that doesn't change. The other is based on probably 10 million variables. It's based on you, it's based on your business, it's based on your work ethic, it's based on your eventual team, it's based on how committed you are, it's based on how much time you put into it, it's based on what you're willing to do that other people aren't gonna do, right? So again, even if that stat was true, that 90% of people, businesses failed in the first 120 days, it does not matter at all. And don't think, if you have this mindset, do not think that that means if you start 10 businesses, maybe one of them will take off. That is not how this works at all. And even to push further on this, again, I never thought that number was right? To me, 90% sounded insane. And 90% in 120 days, that's like, you don't even know what you have on your hands in 120 days. So what we did is we went on Google and we found different websites that mentioned this number. And we saw they all linked to one source. They linked to one website. Now, I'm not gonna call anybody out, so I'm not gonna say what the website is. If you Google it, I'm sure you could find it. But on the website, the source of this stat, it says, according to many sources. So that was their source, according to many sources, not linking any of them. And then again, every other time we saw this stat mentioned, it was other websites, even some as big as Forbes, that were linking to this website that didn't even give any sources. So for anybody that has this in their head, that 9 out of 10 businesses are gonna fail, again, I do not believe that to be true. The only solid concrete data I could find was from the SBA, the Small Business Administration, and I think it was that 80% of businesses last past year 1, which is almost the exact flip of the 90% myth that's out there. And then going on from there, more businesses go out of business in year 2, year 3, year 4, but nothing like an insane amount of businesses just closing their doors overnight. Okay, so what does that mean for you though? Well, first of all, it means your odds are a lot better than you might think they are. But with that being said, it means that you really are in control of your business with all of the variables, with everything that you're responsible for, which is your business. There's no reason why you shouldn't succeed. And honestly, if you're serious about this, I think your chance of success should be 100. Now, I was on a podcast yesterday, I was a guest on it, and I'll link to it when it gets published, I think next month. But the host asked me, out of everybody you work with at Dropship Lifestyle, over 10,000 students, what do you think the thing is, the biggest thing that holds people back from success? And you know what the number one thing was? It was people not actually doing anything. So with Dropship Lifestyle, I always tell people, like, listen, if I can't help you make money, I don't deserve yours. I want to be able to help you get results. I want you to build a business that can actually make you money and give you more freedom in life. So what will happen when people email in, if they say, hey, Anton, you know, it's not working for me, I'll say, okay, listen, send me a link to your store. I'll check it out. I'll give you some pointers, maybe some tips that'll help with your conversion rate. And you know what they say? Well, I didn't build my store. I say, okay, send me your list of suppliers based on the research you did as you went through the course. I'll take a look and I'll see if they're actually good suppliers, or if you need some work there. Maybe you need a better list of suppliers we could help you out with. They email back, you know what, I didn't make a list of suppliers. Okay, let's go way back to step one. Send me your list of niches you were looking into following the criteria I provide, and I'll help you pick one out of your list. Well, you know what, I didn't make a list. Now, does that count as a business failure? Should that affect the success rate of people in Dropship Lifestyle or people building stores? No, because guess what? The people that don't do anything, they're never going to succeed. Now, on the other hand, you have the people that build their store, that maybe sometimes have to build a second store. Maybe they take 3 months, maybe they take 6 months to get it figured out. Maybe it's years in the making. We did a poll in our Facebook group for Dropship Lifestyle, and we asked how many stores did it take for you to become successful. Most people said they got their first store working. Some said store 2, some said store 3. But does that mean for the people that made it work on store 3, does that mean that 1 and 2 of those businesses failed? I don't think so. I consider it all the same thing. It's a journey, right? As they're building their business. So if, again, you're the analytical person, or you're the person that looks for statistics, if you're out there on Google and you see that stat about 90% of businesses failing in 120 days, again, as far as my team and I could find, it is nonsense, it is fake news, and it's a stat that has now become a myth that's been spread around the internet, but it's not reality, at least not from what I've seen. And as far as whatever stat is true, right? 80% of businesses making it past year 1. Yeah, that sounds great, but that does not mean anything to you, because it is not the same as flipping a coin and getting consistent results over time. It is up to you. It is up to the business you build. It is up to what you put into it. And again, if you're serious about this, you're in it for the long haul, there's no reason why you shouldn't have a 100% success rate in business. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking like, okay, I'm building my store and it doesn't feel like it's working, there's some maybe things I could do. I've done a video in the past on YouTube and Dropship Weekly, and it's called How to Save a Failing Store. I'm gonna link to that in the cards above. I'll also post a link in the description that will give you actual things you can implement to your existing store. Again, if you feel like it's failing and you need to improve it. So check that out. And if you're watching this right now and you're not part of Dropship Lifestyle yet, definitely go to dropshiplifestyle.com/webinar. I have a free training there. It's about 2.5 hours long, going deep into everything we do. My 7-step system for dropshipping shows you everything that we do inside of the Dropship Blueprint, which is my e-commerce training program that was voted best e-commerce course by Shopify. So definitely check that out. Again, dropshiplifestyle.com/webinar. So as always, guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you guessed heads also. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up, and definitely click subscribe if you haven't done that, so you can get notified every single Tuesday when I publish a new video right here on YouTube for Dropship Weekly. Thank you, everybody.